Hello everyone, and welcome to this quick lecture of a command line crash course. Being able to navigate your computer through the command line is a vital skill for any web developer or any general programmer. Some commands are slightly different depending on if you use a Windows computer or a Mac OS or Linux computer. In this lecture, we're going to briefly go over a few of the important commands you should know and point out any OS differences that you may find yourself facing. And you can always use the downloaded notes for reference. So there is a folder in the downloaded notes called Command Line Crash Course, and everything I'm going to be talking about is detailed and noted for you in those notes. And there's a separate text for Windows computers and a separate text for Mac OS and Linux users. Mac OS or Linux users share the same set of command lines. It's only Windows users that are a little different from those two. I'm on a Windows computer right now, so I'll walk through the Windows text file just to show you how it works, and I'll make sure to note any differences that occur if you're using a Mac. Let's get started. I'm going to open up my command prompt. Alright, so here I am at my command prompt, and notice that for a Windows computer, your location is usually just told to you here on the left. So I can see here that I'm under a user folder. If I wanted to know all the folders that were under this current directory, I could use the dir command for a Windows computer, and that will, if I hit enter, show me everything that's under that current directory. So here you can see I have a lot of documents, and you'll also notice that if they start with a dot, that means they're basically hidden. So if you're looking at this in your Finder or your Windows viewer, you won't find those. So that's the command for a Windows computer. On a Mac OS or a Linux computer, the command to view all your files in the current directory is ls, and that stands for list. So again, ls is for Mac OS and Linux users, and then dir is for Windows users. Now let's talk about changing directory. Imagine that I actually want to go to a specific file here. Let's say I want to go to this videos file. How do I do that? Well, this command's actually the same whether you're on any operating system like Mac or any operating system like Windows, etc. What you do is you type cd, which stands for change directory, and then you type in the next directory underneath the directory you currently are in that you want to go to. So for example, if I want to go to videos, I just type cd videos, hit enter, and you can see that I've changed directory into cd videos. If I want to go back up a directory, again, this is the same for both operating systems. You do cd ... and that will take you back up one. If you don't quite remember what directory is you're looking for, you can just start typing the directory and then use tab to autocomplete. You can keep hitting tab until you find the one you want. So in this case, I want CD video, so I can do that again, and we go back with CD. And that's how that works. Okay, now let's discuss clearing the screen. I have a lot of stuff here right now. This is a little different depending if you're on a Mac or a Windows. On a Windows computer, it's CLS to clear the command prompt. On a Mac OS or Linux, it's clear. So again, CLS for Windows to clear your screen, clear for a Mac OS or Linux. And you can always reference the notes here if that's easier for you. Alright, so we learned how to list all the folders in a current directory. We learned how to clear the screen. If you ever want to display your current directory, you can just look here on the left if you're on Windows. On a Mac or Linux computer, sometimes it's not so obvious what directory you're currently in. So you can just type in pwd, which stands for print working directory. Again, that's for Mac OS and Linux users in case you want to print out or display your current directory. If I am on a Windows, I can either just look to the left or also just typing cd will also print out my current directory, but you can see it's exactly the same as what was already displayed for me. Okay, so now that we learned how to display our current directory, we are basically done with everything that we needed to cover for the command line crash course. There's also things such as make directory if you want to make a new folder. That's going to be something like make directory mkdir, and that's the same for any operating system. And then you just say whatever the new directory you want, so something like new folder, but we're not going to be doing that too often throughout the course. And if we ever do touch upon some command lines that you haven't seen yet, I'll be sure to let you know what they are and how we use them. But for right now, the only ones you should really be aware of is how to change directory. The most useful one is, again, cd. Type in the directory name you're looking for example, videos. You can use tab to help autocomplete this. And then if you ever want to go back, it's just cd ... That's really the main one that I want you to know, change in directory, and that's the same regardless of your operating system. Okay, thanks everyone, and I'll see you at the next lecture.